What's up everybody, it's Levi from Wall Street Survivor coming back at you with part 2 of our 10-part Survivor 101 series. If you didn't watch the first video, I'll throw the link in the description below. Again, this is a 10-part series introducing you to the stock market in the simplest and most efficient way possible. You're going to want to stick around for the rest of the videos in this series. And make sure you're all caught up before we get into today's topic. Today's a good day. I realized I've been wearing basically the same shirt in every video, so I thought I'd switch it up today. Anyways, as always, thank you guys so much for your feedback and support. It really means a ton to me. And please make sure to let us know if there's anything else you want to learn about in the future by commenting down below. But for now, let's get into making you a confident investor with today's topic. Today we are going to talk about what might be the most overlooked step when people start investing. This is one you have to ask yourself before you even consider putting a cent in the stock market. It changes with age and even allows a little bit of your personality to shine through your portfolio. Any guesses? That's right, today we're talking about risk tolerance. So what exactly is risk tolerance? Risk tolerance is defined as the degree of volatility that an investor is willing to withstand. Or in other words, how many market ups and downs can you handle while still keeping your sanity? Think about it like this. Would you rather risk $5 today to win $500 50 years down the road? Or would you rather risk $500 to possibly profit another $500 today? Now, there is no one correct answer to this, and that's obviously a very simplified example, but your answer to this question might tell you a little bit about your own personal risk tolerance. There's a ton of factors that play into risk tolerance, like age, income, and personal experience. So it's really important that you know which risk tolerance is right for you. Well, how do you know which risk tolerance is right for you? A lot of times, this is where you need to sit down and ask yourself, why am I investing? Are you saving for a home, retirement, maybe that dream vacation you've always wanted to go on? Your answer to this question will determine your investment horizon, or how long you expect to hold an investment for a specific return. If you have a longer term goal and don't need the cash for another 25 years or so, it makes more sense to have an aggressive portfolio because this means you can handle a downturn or a down year in the market and you'll have time to make up for it throughout the rest of your horizon. This kind of portfolio would mean you can handle a down year or maybe even a few down years because your investment has time to make up for that and can still grow in the long run. On the flip side, if you want your money out in 5 years, a more conservative portfolio would probably benefit you. While your reward may be less, a conservative portfolio would provide you with almost guaranteed growth in that short term over a fixed period of time. Now that you know a little bit more about what risk tolerance means, let's talk about some of the top mistakes beginning investors make when deciding their risk tolerance. Number 1, ignoring it. Now, you wouldn't believe how many people start in the stock market without even thinking about the risks. The fact that you clicked on this video gives you a leg up already. Not only do you want to invest, but you want to be a smart investor. Really understanding what your personal risk tolerance is so important to the success of your investments. And the best part is, there are a ton of free assessments all over the internet that can help you make the right decision regarding risk tolerance. Okay, so story time. Jim is a 55-year-old and he's spent the last 10 years of his career working at the same company. He decided to start investing 2 years ago and he came to the conclusion that an aggressive portfolio was going to be right for him. But here's the catch. He never even thought about his risk tolerance. Apart from all the money he just put into stocks, his only assets are his house and a vintage Mustang. Everything goes well for the first little while and then all of a sudden,
everything crashes.
His investments are down, he gets worried, and he instantly pulls all of his money out of the stock market out of fear. See, in this situation, Jim would have been way better to take a more conservative approach. Why? Well, there are a few reasons. First, his only source of income is the job that he currently has, and he still has things he needs to pay off, so he needs to have available income to pay his mortgage, as well as his day-to-day expenses. Second, Jim is 55 years old. If he plans on taking an aggressive approach, he has to be comfortable fighting through the down years that come with higher risk. Naturally, since he's nearing retirement, it doesn't really make sense for him to take such an aggressive approach. And many people who are nearing retirement would not be willing to, or should not be willing to take this amount of risk. That brings us into investing mistake number 2, investing too much or too little. A common misconception about growth and various levels of risks are that they are determined by how much money you invest. For example, some people think that an aggressive approach means just simply investing more money. And this simply isn't true. The bottom line is this: never invest more money than you're capable of and comfortable with. This could mean creating a budget that lists out all your expenses per month and then seeing how much is left over or creating goals around your investing and tailoring your budget to your investing goal. Having all that information laid out and planned ahead will help you determine how much you're able to invest and how much you'll be willing to invest. And it will make you worry a lot less about the inevitable ups and downs of the stock market. Think about Jim. Him being worried enough to pull all of his investments out of the market means that he probably overinvested. He wasn't able to pay his mortgage and his daily expenses without the money that he invested in the market, which is a sure sign that he invested too much. And by pulling his money out during a major crash, he also instantly ruined his chances for any returns that could come later in the stock market. Okay, so the final mistake number 3, letting emotions drive decisions. Once you decide an investment strategy, it's imperative that you stick to it. Does that mean your strategy can't change? Absolutely not. But it does mean that you should be following your game plan. If you decide on an aggressive strategy, you have to give it time. There might be downtimes throughout. Actually, there pretty much definitely will be. But it's important that you anticipate this, understand it beforehand, and don't let your emotional reactions drive your investing decisions. Back to Jim. It's very clear that he let his emotions drive his decisions, and it ruined his chances for potential profit in the future. He probably invested emotionally initially and clearly didn't do enough research about risk tolerance and investment horizons. He also probably pulled his money out of the stock market emotionally without rationalizing how much he could stand to lose before he needed to pull out. Warren Buffett, the legendary investor, has a famous quote that says, "Success in investing doesn't correlate with IQ. What you need is the temperament to control the urges that get people into trouble when investing." Be like Mr. Buffett, don't be like Jim. Okay guys, short and sweet, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget about the rest of the Survivor 101 series videos coming out soon. For more investing tips, tricks, and advice, make sure to check out wallstreetsurvivor.com, and I'll see you guys next time.